Well, the small and medium-sized businesses are essentially the engine of growth almost everywhere, and they're certainly the engine of employment. Now, there are some differences across, regions and countries in terms of their ownership and challenges that they face. But I think the exciting prospect, with these digital platforms like Elite, is that the small and medium-sized businesses can connect with each other, leverage each other's talents, connect to financing, connect other bits of infrastructure you need to scale a business when you're, not huge and so on. So I think, regardless of where you look in the world, in the emerging markets, in China, for example, in Eastern Europe, and in the developed economies, supporting the small and medium-sized businesses is the core element of the growth strategy.
What are companies' needs around the world?
Well, companies' needs vary a lot when you go from place to place, right? So I lived for several years, as I'll say tomorrow, in Silicon Valley. When I first went to Silicon Valley, there was no infrastructure at all, right? It was just a place that a few semiconductor companies operated. I spent some time there and came back, 20 years later, and there's this incredible amount of what I call soft infrastructure, right? So people think of that place as, mainly supported by venture capitalists, and they take risks, and that's money, but it's just completely misleading, right? This is a place where, young people, like the people who started Google, can start a company. They don't know anything about marketing. They don't know anything about finance. They don't know how to keep the accounts, but the system provides it. And the really exciting thing about today's world is that businesses all over the world using the digital technology platforms can get to customers all over the world and suppliers all over the world and ecosystems that support their growth all over the world. And that makes ecosystems less local than they used to be. In other words, if you have a great startup or a great middle-sized company, or pick any industry, there are reasons you have to be in the center of innovation for that industry, but you can get a lot of support and you can get access to markets using the digital technology.